right. So here we are again. I've been thinking about something, Gabe. So this thought came to me earlier today. So over the years, how many businesses have you seen working with the wrong team, the wrong marketing team for their needs?
Pretty sure as business owners and entrepreneurs, that's where we start. So I think everybody has worked with the wrong team, and it's easy to miss, and it's also part of our education as entrepreneurs. It's almost unavoidable.
Yeah,
I've met a few entrepreneurs that are obviously smarter than me somehow, and make wiser choices up front. But it's just like hiring a team member. You got to learn how to do it. You make your best effort, you make your best hire, and if you're lucky, the first time around, great. But most of the time, you
sure.
learn how to lead, and that is also comes down to how we hire new marketing agencies or teams to work on our company.
Yeah, I speak to hundreds of business owners every week, Gabe, and I'm on different newsletters and Reddit and stuff like that. And I've just been noticing that a lot of people have gotten burned on their first time checking out a marketing agency. And so I wanted to pick your brain a little bit today about why that is. You know what I mean? Why is there so many poor experiences in the realm of marketing? And how do we combat that as an agency? So, as you guys know, of course, I am Nathan Gibson and I have with me Mr. Gabe Arnold. We're here for another super fun episode where we're talking about what to look for in the right marketing agency, but also what to look for in the wrong one. So, choosing the right marketing team is really crucial for your business, right?
Yeah, and the answer that may be a little bit surprising to people, but I've learned the hard way, and I don't want everybody else to learn it the hard way, is
Yep.
choosing the right marketing team actually starts with you as the entrepreneur, as the leader. If you own marketing for the business, maybe you're a leader inside of a business, or you own the business, you're the entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
What it comes down to in the beginning is you, because marketing, hiring the wrong marketing team or having a failed, campaign or project or process with any individual marketing freelancer you hire, an agency, a marketing team, or even if you hire your own team, if things fail, then my view, and I just wrote about this on Facebook this week, is that
Mm-hmm.
everything is my fault in the business, and that's good news. And if you start from that place, then it really gives you the freedom to grow and be successful and truly learn from things that don't go well. Whereas if you, and I've fallen into this, but it's not an effective mindset. If you say, well, that didn't work out because this employee or this team I hired or this vendor, failed and it was all their fault, then
Yeah.
you're guaranteed to repeat that cycle over and over. Because if it's not your fault, then you're out of control and you're just going to be a victim forever. But
Right.
the real key is to get crystal clear on the business result you want for your marketing. And most of the time, the best business result that you need in marketing is you need new leads if you're a service company, so you can have conversations and talk to people and enroll them into your services and how you serve and support their needs.
Mm-hmm.
Or you need new customers to purchase your product. So if you have a product where you have an e-commerce store or something where people can purchase directly, then you need more customers to buy from you. And most businesses, and most, our business included, we could not handle bringing on even 10 clients in a week because we're a big service company. We do a lot of in-depth work, and most
Yeah.
people couldn't handle having 100 new customers a day. So setting some crazy unrealistic goal, one, won't help you with your marketing team, and it's not
No.
realistic. So the best thing to do is take a look at what you did in the last year for new customers or revenue or however you want to measure it, and set what's a reasonably aggressive target and say, I want to do 20 to 25% more in this year,
Mm.
and get clear on, do we need more leads? Do we need more purchases? Like, what's the specific business result I want? When you
Yeah.
start there, then you can communicate around that with your marketing team and say, this is the outcome I need. How do we get there? And you don't have to be a marketing expert or know how to run pay-per-click ads or how to do SEO or email marketing or any, Facebook ads or anything you want to do.
All of the things.
Yeah, all the things. Marketing is super, multi-skilled, complex process, but you do need to be able to logically understand what's being done. Like, here's what's
Yeah.
being done and why. You don't have to have all the technical detail expertise. But the first step is really getting clear on what you actually need as a business and what you can handle. Because if you don't get clear on the outcome you want, then you can't lead somebody forward. And you, as the business owner, as the leader in the company, you have to lead your vendors, your team members to the result. They have
Yeah.
the skill. You are responsible for the outcomes. And if you view it that way, you'll have a lot more success.
I think that that's a really, really good point to our audience, who is a lot of business owners, right? We speak to a lot of different business owners in hundreds, if not thousands, of different niches and industries. And so that's something I wanted to dive into with you today, is going over some things to look out for in potentially the wrong marketing agency, because everything's not going to be a fit. It would be foolish to assume everything's going to be the right fit the first time around. That's why when we work with our clients, we always start with initial, like, first investment project to see how our teams work together, what we can provide for them, and see how things feel, right? Because that's really important. So I think there's a few things to look out for, and one of which you kind of touched on before, and that's cookie cutter strategies, right?
Yeah.
That's something that is rampantly apparent in the marketing world. I speak to a lot of business owners who tell me, like, we have this package or this service or this, like, one, two, or three, where it's like they do that for every single company. Why is that not the way that people should approach marketing?
Yeah, I mean, there's exceptions, but in very few cases will the exact marketing package, same steps, same targeting, same ads work for your business that worked for another business in the same industry, because you actually, as a business owner, serve a unique set, a unique niche inside of your niche. And so if you're selling weight loss supplements or something simple,
Yeah.
that's a huge market, billions of dollars. But the people that you have sold your supplement to, as an example, have bought from you for really specific reasons and have really specific needs, and they're located geographically in a specific place, and they have beliefs and values and buying behaviors that are unique to you. So if you just cookie cutter and slap, copy and paste whatever works somewhere else, it's going to be skewed and off, and it won't match. And if anything does work, you're leaving money on the table. And if it doesn't work, you don't know why. And if it does work, you don't know why. So it's a dangerous place to be. Marketing always needs to be customized around deep market research on the people that paid you money. That is the ultimate truth for your business. The people that pay you money are the ones you need to research and understand deeply, so you can go attract more of them.
100%. And I'm pretty sure, Gabe, I used that line today. And that's just the truth. The people who are willing to invest with you, trust you, and are willing to, buy your product or services is the truth of your market. And that's why when we do that market research, we find people that are like that, because there are billions of people on the planet, Gabe. We would be foolish to think that there aren't similarities between certain markets. And if we find that, not only demographically, but psychographically, more important, we're able to fine tune people's marketing into being able to really serve their target audience. And so I love that. Definitely be wary of cookie cutter strategies. Another one that comes to mind is the front side of it, the very first interaction, right? Sleazy sales tactics.
Yep.
You and I are sales guys at heart, and we know that this doesn't work now, and in our opinion has never worked. Mm-hmm. And it's those underhanded, pushy, dig into the pain type of sales tactics that we really caution people away from. In your experience, why would you say that that's a major red flag when you're first speaking to an agency?
Yeah, I always encourage people, really listen to your intuition, slow down, and make a good decision, because money aside, which takes time to recover, you can never recover time. And so if anybody's trying to present their package and, incentivize you, push you, manipulate you, however you want to phrase it, to sign today or sign into some agreement or, do something immediately, then they are a short-term thinker. And that's just the reality, because I am a very skilled salesperson. I know the psychological tools. I could make people sign up immediately on most calls. But the risk for that is if I own the decision and I force you into buying, basically, Nathan, then you didn't make the decision and you didn't invest. I just convinced you, manipulated you. And then when things are challenging or go rough or, or don't go smoothly, which happens in every project, in every business in the world, then you're going to blame me, as you should, because I pushed you into this.
Exactly.
But if we take our time and I educate you and say, here's the paths you can choose, here's the options, I want to empower you, Nathan, as my prospect, and then you choose, you own the decision. It's a real partnership. So yeah, it's a huge red flag. If somebody's trying to get you to sign an agreement or a commitment or anything long term, or they're trying to make you make a decision the same day or on the call, then they are a turn and burn salesperson, and they are looking to make as much money as they can on you today. And they don't actually have the experience or maturity to understand that it's better to slow down, empower, the customer to make the best choice for them. And that customer will trust you and come back and buy over and over. And that's Why, one, I always tell people you will never be pressured or manipulated into doing anything here. We're going to educate you, serve you, and help you make the best choice for you, including sometimes where we slow down and don't let people buy it because
Yeah, even if it's no, right?
yeah. And then ultimately, we don't ask our clients to sign long term agreements until we've done a small initial research project together. We've built out the steps and they get to know what it's like to work with our team because we
Yeah.
want them to feel aligned and feel really good about the process, just like we feel great about working with them. There should always be a trial run before you say, I'm going to commit a bunch of time and money to this project because until you are working in the trenches on a real project with somebody, I don't care what they say, they should be able to prove to you that they do have strong processes, they do have expertise, and that they're really there to help you be successful. And it's not just about taking money from you.
I totally agree. I couldn't have phrased it better myself. And then also, like, in the eyes of a business owner who's looking to hire a marketing agency, you got to protect your internal team, right? If you hire these guys who say that they know what they're doing and are employing these sleazy sales tactics and all these unsavory things, how is your team's interactions going to be with them, right? Because when you partner, and that's the important word, partner with a marketing agency, in the ideal, like how we do it, it's a collaborative relationship that lasts for years to come. And so you got to think, are our teams going to work together? Are they going to continue to provide value? And what's the communication like? All these things go into a partnership. And so that's why, like you said, we do that initial investment to feel things out, to understand not only from our end, but their end. How are they experiencing the team? And then we can provide a great quality or service for them. And then after that, a lot of times they're super blown away and want to partner with us. And it feels like an aligned decision because they took time, they got to know our team, and got a deliverable too. It's not like we're doing, we're giving something to them as well, a usable asset. And so I think those are really, really important things to kind of watch out for if people aren't showing up in that way.
Yep.
Um, and so shifting there, what qualities should we look for, right? Like, what should we look for? Because it can't all be negative, right? The first one is one, Gabe, we mention every day, and that's relationships first. And
Yeah.
it really is our first guiding principle for a reason because when you put relationships first, everything will fall into place after. That's something you've taught me over the years, and I wanted to dive into that of like why should in the eyes of an entrepreneur, right? Just put aside the fact that you own a marketing company. In the eyes of a business owner and an entrepreneur, why should you look for those relationships first when you are hiring a marketing team?
Yeah. By not just by their words, but by their actions and behavior, they should be able to show you that they care about your long term success and they're willing to help you get there. And that's the kind of relationships that we need in business because we can't see all things, we can't have all skills, we can't know everything, we can't have expertise in everything, but the people that we'll work with long term will truly show up and protect our interest and take care of us and care about the long term relationship because a really seasoned skilled salesperson and a really strong marketing team knows that the best thing to do is help their customer, their client, spend an adequate amount of money, a reasonable investment, get good return, and then build over time.
Yeah.
And great marketing teams and folks know that marketing is not flip a switch and make $1 million, despite what we all see on the internet every day.
Don't you wish, right?
If it was that simple, we would charge more, is what I tell people. um, but it's about like building your foundation out from the market research. It's about building your asset, launching campaigns, doing optimization. It's work over time, and I've never seen a business. Well, rarely, I'll say I've rarely ever seen a business flip on marketing and have everything work in 3 or 4 months. The reality is it takes 6, 9, 12 months to have a marketing engine that works, and then you can scale and grow. And so you're going to be with this person for the long term, ideally.
Right.
And so you want to trust that they have your best interest at heart. You want to see the actions that they say they do something and they do it. Even as simple as like if they're going to send you a proposal or ideas or something and they say they'll send it to you by the end of the week. If they don't send it by the end of the week, that's a small red flag. If you
Sure.
have to follow up and ask for something, that's a bigger red flag. Like by our actions, we prove who we are. And that's the biggest thing to watch as you're beginning a new relationship.
That's so important, right? Because you can just tell we're intuitive people. Everybody is. And so you can tell based on a person's communication, their body language, their effort, how committed they are to your project. Because when we work with a client, we take it seriously. That is a serious relationship. We know the ins and outs of their business. We know the languaging they use, the images they want to create, their website, everything, right? And
Yeah.
so when it's that much of an interpersonal relationship, you have to make sure it's aligned because otherwise things will fall through the cracks. We've seen it happen over and over. And so I love that. Another green flag that I wanted to mention is something that I really recommend every business owner look for as they progress with working with a marketing team. Like say you get over that initial hurdle, you're impressed by their initial sales and their communication, and you start working, maybe you're 6 months, a year into the project, right? Continuous improvement.
Yes.
Marketing is an insanely ever shifting landscape with new technologies, new methods, new everything every day, every minute almost. And so, why is it important for a business owner or an entrepreneur to seek out continuous improvement from their marketing team?
Yeah, it's exactly the things you touched on, right? Like technology is going to change. There's going to be new channels that open up. There's going to be new opportunities. And even more important than that, that's like the shifting landscape every day.
Yeah.
Market behavior shifts. So it's a simple example, like what we found to be acceptable as a smartphone we would buy 5 years ago,
That's a
nobody
good
would buy
point.
today. And that's because the market desire changed. And so I've told a story over the years where in the 70s, and I don't remember which company it was, but one of the big car companies, probably Ford or Chevy, they tried to market how safe their car was. They launched this new car. It probably had seatbelts earlier than other cars. It had all these safety features, and it
Hmm.
didn't sell. And they lost, in today's dollars, it was something like $1 billion they lost.
Wow.
And it's because there was a mismatch of they were marketing to a desire that didn't exist in the marketplace. Nobody cared about safety. They wanted the fastest, heaviest,
Sounds
crazy
like the
car.
time.
Yeah. Now you could never get away with selling the cars we sold in the 70s because one of the number one things people look at is how safe is this car? Because we're all driving
Absolutely.
faster. Many of us are driving distracted, and you might get in a wreck, so you want to be safe. So
Yeah.
continuous optimization is not only watching the platforms, the behaviors, and the data, but then periodically resurveying your customer base, finding out what's important to them, and making sure that the offer that you're putting out there, the targeting, the language matches what your current customer base is saying so that you can attract more of those folks. So that's
Yeah.
why continuous improvement is one of our guiding principles, and we live by that. And that's something you should ask, without giving the answer to somebody when you're interviewing or looking at a market.
Hmm.
Say, like, what's your process or how do you handle change if the audience changes or our offers, aren't working? What are you going to do? And see how they answer. That'll give you a good sense of what the process is like for them around continuous optimization.
Yeah, because if you think about it, hardly ever any successful business stays the same for long. I mean, their processes may stay the same and their culture, all the things that are core and foundational, but everybody's experimenting, trying new things, finding new audiences and ways to serve them, right? And so if your marketing team isn't at that same pace and with that level of intention, you're going to get left behind everybody else in your market. And so that's why we strive to be the best in our industry by continuously upskilling our people that work with us and the services that we provide so that way we can stay competitive and really serve our audience like the business owners we work with. And so I think that that's a really important trait to keep an eye out for when you're looking to hire a marketing team.
So,
um, and with that being said, folks, guys, if you're ready to work with a team that puts you first, I can't think of a better one than Business Marketing Engine because we build strategies that are not only authentic but results driven and truly focused on your business success. It's a collaborative effort, and we build relationships. We have clients, Gabe, that have been with us for 15 years now. You know what I mean? And so that just goes to show the level of intention we put into the marketing for the folks we work with, and we would love to have a conversation with you guys. As always, you can find my link below and you can teach me a little bit more about what you do for your business. And I would love to share how we show up and serve in that industry. But Gabe, I do have another thing here, of course, and that's our win for the week, right? We got to talk about what we have going on. So, um, we actually had a really big win with one of our clients named Six Packs, who owns a gym, and we actually smashed their goal for the month. They had a goal of hitting 12 new paid members for the month, and we hit 14, which in their industry is huge, right? It's really,
yeah.
really big. And so I wanted to touch base with you on that and see how you felt about that win. But I wanted to say a little bit about how we did it. So through consistent tweaks and smart optimizations to their Facebook and Google campaigns, we really were able to drive those results for them. We wrapped up the month strong. The client was happy and collaborative with us, and I couldn't be more proud of our team, honestly.
Yeah, it went amazingly well. And like that's what we were talking about earlier is they're getting a new client every 2 days, basically. And like,
Crazy.
if you have that level of consistency of your marketing performing, highly qualified people coming in that need exactly what you offer, and the way that they're communicated to in the ads, the landing pages, the videos, the email warms them up to be able to have a conversation with you in the business, and then you help them move forward and change their life. Like, what I love about Six Packs is they have helped hundreds of people get healthy, lose weight, and we have amazing before and after pictures. And because they practice what I always tell people, marketing 101 is delivering a great product or service. They deliver
Absolutely.
an amazing product and service, to their clients. We can then replicate that into the marketing and attract more people. And so I love the partnership we have with Six Pack. They're an amazing company, and a good friend of mine leads that company. And they're consistent. They're willing to follow process. They bring up challenges or concerns. We get to talk about them and solve them. And that's what's allowed us to really have that full partnership of optimizing things and getting them great results. So I love that, because they've been, they've been active with campaigns we're coming up around the 6-month mark. Mm-hmm. So I tell people, put the time in, be patient, follow the process. And, around the 6-month mark, you're going to have stabilization. And now Six Packs can turn the dial, do more advertising if they want more clients, or they can keep it where it's at, and they're consistently getting new members. And that's exactly what a business like that needs.
Yeah, they crush it, man. And they also, those results compound over time. Those aren't just 14 new members for this month. Those will be the next month and the next month and the next month, because they show up and serve those people, right? They provide an excellent service. And so when we help them market to those people and acquire new customers, they stay. You know what I mean? They stay over time. And so I love that. They're such good people. But that is what I have for you today, folks. If you liked the video, throw it a thumbs up for us. It really helps us out over there on YouTube. We put out a new episode every single Friday, and we would love to have you guys join the family. You can also subscribe so you don't miss out on those notifications for the new videos. And then, of course, as I said, if you guys want a team of dedicated experts working around the clock for your business success, let me know. We're always here wanting to learn more about new businesses and being able to show up and serve. And then finally, also, if you guys want to join our free newsletter, we talk about awesome tips like we have today around marketing and technology. There will be a link below where you can join up on there. But that is what I have for you. Thanks for joining me yet again, Gabe, and we will see you guys next Friday.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.